What's up, everyone? Dan Servodidio here with Fantasy Alarm with some bold takes and predictions for day 2 of the 2022 NFL Draft. We had plenty of surprises and shocking trades on Thursday night in the first round, and if that's any indication, then the second and third rounds on Friday night should be just as exciting. So let's get to it. Bold take number 1, Desmond Ridder will be drafted before Malik Willis. Yep, even though I, along with everyone else, expected Willis to be drafted in the first round, it's clear that NFL teams and front offices aren't as high on the Liberty quarterback as we originally thought. The talent and athletic upside is definitely there for Willis, but there are concerns about when he'll actually be ready to start at the pro level after playing against much weaker competition in college, similar to Trey Lance in last year's draft, actually. Plus, Willis's leadership and toughness have come into question during the pre-draft process, which is not a good thing when teams are trying to find their next franchise quarterback. It might be a reason why he's slipped down the board a little bit. As for Ridder, he definitely has his flaws like Willis, but the proven winning attitude was on full display in college, with the Cincinnati Bearcats being a top 10 team in the country the past 2 seasons. NFL teams may be more willing to take a chance on Ridder and his slightly better experience. Plus, he also brings some dual threat ability into the mix like Malik Willis does. Although I admittedly predicted Willis to go top 10 in the first round, we have to look at this with a new lens after every team passed on him and others opted not to trade into the end of the first round to draft him. So don't be surprised if Desmond Ridder ends up and goes ahead of Malik Willis on day 2 in the second round. Bold take number 2. The Chiefs, Packers, and Bears all draft a wide receiver in the second round. There's still plenty of second-round wide receiver talent out there, and coincidentally, we have a slew of NFL teams that still need pass catchers. Kansas City and Green Bay both passed on the wideout position in the first round despite everyone expecting them to go that route, especially since both teams had a pair of first-round picks. Well, now we're into day 2, and the Chiefs and Packers, believe it or not, both have 2 second-round picks at their disposal yet again. The Packers definitely have more of a need to go wide out in this draft, with Devontae Adams and Marquez Valdes-Scantling departing in the offseason, but the Chiefs probably still want to replace the speed and playmaking of Tyreek Hill as well. Expect both Kansas City and Green Bay to take a wide receiver with one of their 2 second-round picks. As for the Bears, they also have a pair of second-rounders after not having any picks last night in the first round. Wide receiver is also a big team need for Chicago with Allen Robinson gone and not much talent at the position outside of Darnell Mooney. The Bears should be looking for a pass catcher with one of their 2 second-round picks to give Justin Fields another receiving weapon. And there's a lot of wideout prospects still available. We've got George Pickens, Sky Moore, Christian Watson, and John Mechie, who should all get drafted in the second round. And then there's guys like Jalen Tolbert, Alec Pierce, or David Bell who could sneak in there as well. Bank on the Packers, Chiefs, and Bears all to draft one of those names in the second round. Bold take number 3. More tight ends than running backs will be drafted in day 2. Unlike last year when Kyle Pitts and Najee Harris both went in the first round, this year's NFL draft didn't see any running back or tight end taken within the first 32 picks. So what about the second and third rounds on Friday night? Well, we should at least see Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker go off the board at the running back position. Outside of them, though, there's a drop-off to the next tier of running back prospects. Maybe we should see one of Isaiah Spiller, Tyler Algier, James Cook, Dameon Pierce go off the board by the end of round 3, but an NFL team could continue to devalue the running back position on their own rosters and via the NFL draft. It's just the reality of the league. And that was evidenced by no rushers being drafted in the first round on Thursday. As for the tight ends, while there's no Kyle Pitts in this draft class, there's still plenty of day 2 talent. There's a good possibility we see Trey McBride, Greg Dulcich, Jeremy Ruckert, Jelani Woods, Charlie Kohler, or Cade Otton all go in the second and third rounds on Friday night. That would be 7 strong tight end prospects with day 2 grades compared to just 3 or 4 at the running back spot possibly. And those are your bold takes and predictions for the second and third rounds of the 2022 NFL Draft. Enjoy the picks on Friday night. For Fantasy Alarm, I'm Dan Servodidio.